Well, hello everyone. It is Wednesday, my favorite day of the week. I am so excited. I am Cindy Rowe with Cindy Rowe Marketing, and this is our Facebook Live show. I have a special guest today, Emily from Hi Beautiful Bridal. Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much. This is so great. It's a great way to break up the week.
Yes, yes. So I have a new time spot. It's at 12:30. Now, before I was doing it at 2. So hopefully we get a few people in here to join us in the conversation. But Emily, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. Tell the viewers exactly what it is that you do.
Absolutely. Okay, so I own Hi Beautiful Bridal. It's in Rockton, Illinois, right on the main road, which is super quiet and just quaint and charming down there. I just love it. But it is a by appointment only bridal store. So when a bride comes in, she has the whole space to herself, which brings a lot of comfort to people knowing they're not really competing with other brides or customers or anything of that sort. It's an hour-and-a-half appointment, and you get to try on dresses, do accessories, that type of thing. And I also do events every now and again where, I have open houses and things like that. But for the most part, you call and do one-on-one appointments.
Wonderful. So have you always been in the bridal industry, or where'd you get the idea to open this type of store?
So people will say I've kind of been all over the place. However, my main goal when I was younger, always loved weddings. I just had a passion for it. I think my mom knows that I started collecting bridal magazines maybe in high school. And so even, not having marriage in sight, I just loved the idea of weddings. And I went to school for teaching, actually. And so I went to NIU to do that. Halfway through, my husband and I had our son, so I never fully finished my degree there. But at one point realized that I was kind of still into the idea of weddings, and so I did event planning. I did that, and then I kept coming back to this idea because when I got my wedding dress, somebody shut down the store for me and just had the space to myself. And I thought that was really nice and something that I feel like more women would like. So years later, the building opened up in Rockton, and it's such a great space that I really couldn't say no to it. So just kind of snowballed very aggressively from there because I think I purchased or started renting in October and opened in January.
Oh, wow. That's fast. And it is such a beautiful location, which I just saw on Facebook. It was part of a commercial.
Yes.
So
I got in contact with, or somebody got in contact with me that's local from the area, but also involved with a business, that does commercials. So that was really fun. It was interesting to see how that all works.
yeah, and it's so cool. The building itself is so unique. So looking forward to seeing what they've done with the space.
Yes, me
I
too.
heard it is
I'm
not a
excited.
bridal shop in the commercial. Is that correct?
Right. So they just made it a boutique, but I think along somewhere it says beautiful somewhere. So that's kind of fun. My name might be kind of in it.
That's awesome. Very cool. So you started out thinking about being a teacher.
Yes.
You always had this vision of, maybe having a bridal store, bridal shop. You love the experience. So when you were creating, well, when this all kind of stumbled apart or together, not apart, together, what was your dream? Like, what did you envision? Like, this is how it's going to be. Did you already have your name picked out? Like, kind of describe that whole process of, dreaming about it.
It still kind of feels like a blur to me because it all happened so fast where it really did start off with the building. We were across the street when it was a restaurant. Now it's something else, but it was a restaurant then, and I had just seen that it was vacant, and I looked in the window, and my husband said, now's the time to do it. So I called. I didn't hear from the owner for a couple days, and I thought I'm going to try one more time and see if they answer. And sure enough, they did. So I was able to see the space and check it out. I had no name. I had no idea of what designers I was going to carry, what accessories. I had honestly not like, I felt like I had no experience in that department yet either. But I just kind of trusted the process of I don't need to start big. It doesn't need to be, I don't have to have 5 different designers. I don't have to have fully stocked shelves and that type of thing just to open. And I had somebody kind of give me that advice, like don't overdo it too much. I remember having a list of even just names and crossing off the ones I didn't like, and, asking friends and family and things like that. But yeah, I laugh because, people are like, oh, I just kind of dipped my toes in. Oh no, I just kind of flopped face first into it. And I don't regret any of it because I think if I would have taken it slower, I don't know if I would have fully committed because after a while, COVID hit, and that type of thing. So I think if I waited any longer, I would have been a lot more hesitant for sure.
Yeah. So you opened your doors right before COVID struck us all. So
Yeah.
how did you pivot? I mean, because you were just really starting to get the word out that you were in business, and then boom, everybody was on lockdown, and weddings were postponed, or everybody was like, I don't even know what's happening.
Right. Right. It was scary for, I would say like the first couple of weeks, I was I don't want to say okay with it, but I thought, you know what, I set myself up for this knowing that maybe the first few months of business wouldn't be the best anyways. And so I was like, okay, financially I'm okay. Like this is fine. We'll keep up but when it's kind of started lasting a little bit longer than anticipated, there was kind of a panic that set in. But yeah, I think a lot of businesses just learn to adjust their business perspective and how they would reach their clientele, their customers, or however you want to think of it. I mean, I think I've told this story multiple times, but I delivered dresses door to door. During that time, they would pick their dresses they wanted, in pictures, and I'd drop them off at their house. So they picked it out that way. So it was more just being adaptable at that time. And it's crazy. It was crazy.
But we made it through. You just celebrated 2 years, and
Yes.
things are, on the up and up and exciting. Do you have a vision of where you'd like your business to go in the next couple of years? Is it bigger, broader, more exciting, or just stay in your
I think
lane?
it's definitely more on the, I don't want it to get too big because I feel like I love the I don't know, the small town feel of what Rockton is and High Beautiful has become. I would love to maybe add on like mother of the bride dresses, because I know that's a really big thing I get calls constantly about that. So I would love to do something like that, or even just keeping it bridal and maybe bringing in new designers more often, or maybe bigger events would be great in the area.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that idea. And I think, we have a few comments. We have Lindsay says that the delivery to brides was genius. Carrie had said that she wishes there was a shop like yours when she was getting married. So you have something very special. And I think brides will travel, right? Like if they hear about a unique place, for their special day, right? They're going to travel to come and experience what you have. And that is super, super cool. Like I'll share my experience, right? Like I am actually, I am getting married, my second marriage, and doing it quite differently this time. And I have been following you and watching you and what you're doing. And I just had a perception of what I thought it was. And so, but I messaged a couple of my good friends and they're like, duh, hi, beautiful. I was like, okay. So I inboxed you and just told you kind of where I was at and what I was thinking. And you sent me some pictures, and then I came in to get the dress I thought I wanted. But I love
typical, yes.
yeah, and walked out with a different one. But I did appreciate the one-on-one time, the experience, and just feeling special. Like this is such a special occasion that, prior to at my first wedding, getting a bridal dress, it was, I don't know, uncomfortable. And I
Yeah.
didn't feel that way at all with your store and obviously you. And you can tell that you love what you do. And I've said this to several people, like, you weren't afraid to tell me your opinion, like, because you knew that it was going to ultimately, you know, help me make the correct choice for me. Right. And I appreciate that. Like, don't tell me that I look amazing and it's not a flattering dress like that.
Right.
I don't want to
Yes.
hear that,
Yes.
like,
You don't want that.
and and just yeah, it was nice because I had my mom and my daughter with me, and it was a very like intimate moment. Like it was just a special thing and memory that I'll have forever, and then a beautiful dress on top of that. So
I love it. I love that. No, it
very
was so great to have you. And I think the one thing I really truly love is from start to finish, of right when you make your appointment, up until finding the dress, I kind of like to dig deeper into what, you like. That's why sometimes I tell brides to send pictures like you did, or things that you're interested in, because I have had brides send pictures, and I've told them I don't have that dress, but I have some similar, and they have found, something. Well, it's funny you said you left with the opposite. That happens a lot. So, so that happens too. But I really truly enjoy being around people, and I haven't had a bad experience yet. People ask about bridezillas. I haven't had one yet, so we'll see.
yeah. I'm sure they are out there, but yeah, maybe they'll just avoid your shop.
I hope so. Yeah, no.
So the mission of your business model, or maybe your business is what? I mean, I feel like I know what it might be, but what is it? Because I've experienced it. So
Yes, yes. No, I guess I should like write down a motto. I don't think I really like have anything specific. But my main thing is comfort, and also confidence. I have a lot of brides coming in. They're, as women, we zone in on the things we don't like about ourselves physically. And so whether it's, some people come in, they're like, I have broad shoulders, or, I've got, certain things they don't like. And I love when they put something on and they're so confident in that. Or if they thought they couldn't wear a certain style and they put it on, they're like, oh my gosh, I feel amazing. That's literally why I love my job. I love making people happy. I love making people feel confident in themselves, in that moment especially. So that's, I need to come up with a slogan or something. But mostly feeling beautiful is key too. So I guess that's in my name. So
in
that
your
works.
name, right? Yeah. So what are some cool things that you have done to market your business?
So you and I talked a little bit before this. I'm trying to get into the TikTok thing. A lot of brides are going on there, and not even just brides. I mean, everybody I feel like is on TikTok now. So trying to get on that trend I'm getting there. It's a little tricky, but I'm getting there. But I also love to work with other vendors. So I do a lot of stuff with venues, photographers. Things like that where, we can help each other. So I've provided dresses for styled shoots. There was just a gorgeous one that was showcased on a Chicago website that was done at Twisted Tulip. So, and other places I work with as well, but that's just more recent. So, and that's easy for me. I just provide the dress, but it helps them. I like to be able to bounce back and forth and help each other out. So that's a way, but of course other social media, Facebook like this. That's how I started, was Facebook. And that's, I think, how I booked one of my first appointments was through Facebook. So a lot of social media is what I work with. Yeah.
And do you find, working with the other vendors in the bridal industry has really helped you? Um, I can hear myself. That's kind of funny. I'm sorry. I hear the feedback. That's so funny. But no, like, have you been able to grow, not necessarily your business wise, but maybe the business sense? Like, have you been able to, with those connections, maybe figure out solutions to other problems because they've already experienced it or whatnot? I mean, do you
Absolutely.
understand the direction where I'm going?
Yes. No, I 100% know what you mean. And especially working with wedding vendors during COVID, especially, we all had to be adaptable, and watching them doing what they were doing to keep up in the industry was motivation. I think that we all kind of motivate each other, more so others. I just feel like, as far as like on my end, you see me and then you're kind of out the door. Whereas photographers and stuff or venues, you do connect a little bit more with them. But yeah, I just feel so lucky because I feel like, I've, surrounded myself with people that are all positive and wanting the best for each other. So that's helpful.
Yeah, and it's great to have the people that you can rely on and trust and bounce ideas off of, or mentored each other in different aspects. So maybe you become really awesome at TikTok, right? And
I hope
other
so.
people are like, whoa, how'd you do that? Or, how can you help? Like that's what I love about, being an entrepreneur and tapping in with other entrepreneurs and like-minded people. And I think the community that we live in, it's such a close-knit community, and I think everybody wants everyone to win. At least that's my perception. And being in the small town, like I appreciate the way people connect with each other. And speaking of which, I think you just pulled off a really awesome photo shoot with all the female business owners. That was
Yes.
so cool. Like,
That was really fun. And it's one of those things where all of a sudden you're just sitting there one day and I'm like counting in my head of how many. And I mean, some people were even adding on towards the end, like, oh, look, remember this, remember that. And yeah, just really cool in Rockton. How many women are just, and even opening stores, during hard times and working together. And again, we help promote each other, where we possibly can. And even though we're all opposite, some are the same, some are opposite. But it was really cool to all be in one room when we could.
Yeah, that was awesome. Great picture, great story behind it, and perfect timing with the Women's Day and
Yes.
the Women's Month that we're celebrating. Question for you, like now that we're kind of talking about working together with others in the community or whatever, like who inspires you in your business?
It's a great question.
Did I stump you? I told you I was going to stump you.
No, it's funny. I just actually answered this morning for something else that somebody sent me. And what I started off with was there's a lot of people in my life that have inspired. I have a lot of people who've worked really hard to get where they're supposed to be, want to be, that type of thing. And I'm lucky enough to have a lot of people in my family that are very inspiring. So, including first and foremost, because my main thing was I was a stay-at-home mom for a while, and my mom was the greatest and just always uplifting. So she's one of the reasons and my biggest cheerleader of why I started this business. My dad is also an entrepreneur, so he, worked in Rockford, had a business there, and now he has multiple other businesses. So a lot of people in my family, cousins. I've got cousins that own businesses. My sister and my dad, my brother. I mean, the list kind of goes. It's a long list of people. But I think it's really neat that my family is just. I'm surrounded by people like determined. A lot of people that are determined to just do what they love. and life's too short to kind of, just do something, I don't know. It's just, friends too. So I have a lot of friends that are hardworking, and I don't know, that's a tough one because I can't nail it down to one.
Yeah. No, well, I think you've described it perfectly. You have everybody in your life that inspires you in one way or another. And we have very similar paths, I think. Well, my father was an entrepreneur, small business owner, and I always thought that's kind of what I wanted to do. And then I went to college, and then I forgot about that dream until, I worked in corporate America for way too long and realized that I was not, I couldn't contribute. I didn't feel, like I was doing anything good in the world, right? And so yeah, I remembered my childhood dream of wanting to start my own business, and when I did it, I was like, I don't even know what I'm going to do. I was doing marketing for 20 some years, and I was like, I don't know what business I'm going to start.
Right.
And I was an event planner too, so that's like kind of cool, like that we.
That's very cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I absolutely loved it, and I did it for several years, and I wanted to start a family. And I worked for a husband and wife, very small company. And when I told them that I wanted to get pregnant, they're like, well, you can't have both. So you decide. It was horrible.
That doesn't sound very fun.
I was like, okay, well, I'm out. I found another job because I was like, how can you tell somebody that they can't have a family? And I wasn't the owner. I mean, I think it would have been a little bit different, but anyway, sidetrack completely. But I loved the details, and you kind of mentioned it earlier, like knowing like the start and then seeing the ending, like all of that in between, and just the satisfaction of like, oh, this is what all my hard work did, and I got to see some pretty amazing places, so I was pretty excited about that. But anyway, you have a fan club on here, girl. We've got everybody loves you. You're amazing. We are so proud of you. And then another one, proud of you.
Oh my goodness, Mark's on here.
I love this.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you. So fun.
Now we're getting close to the end, but I have a couple more questions if we have time. So, greatest fear as an entrepreneur?
I think my greatest fear, and I don't foresee it happening yet, I hope, losing the passion for it. I think that, things in life happen where, you get sidetracked on things. So I just hope that I never lose that passion, because I think if I did, I don't think that my business would do as well if I lost that. So I'm hoping to keep the momentum going for as long as I can. I think that's the main goal, is just to stay. This is what I've always wanted to do, so I don't foresee it happening. But that is, I think, a fear of mine, is being like, no, I'm done. Throw my hands up. I don't want to do it anymore. But we'll see. Maybe if I'm at the shop when I'm like 65 or something, maybe that then I'll be like, somebody else can do it.
I love that. Yeah. And then, it's keeping it fresh and just keeping, you in tune with everything. So, and I'm sure things will, transpire, and you'll grow and you'll learn new things, and, and that's a way that you can grow and maybe expand your business. So how do you determine what dresses and designers you're going to have? Are you like in the know for all trends? I mean, like, how do you stay on top of that? Because there are a lot of different styles out there. Speaking from experience recently, how do you decide what you put in your shop?
You can definitely get caught up in a rabbit hole if you go on Pinterest or anywhere. Online. So that can get a little crazy. But when I opened, I honestly decided the first person that gave me a chance was who I went with, who was the best customer service. And I know that they want me because I'm the person buying. But I also want to work with somebody, that knows what they're doing and will get back to me in the time amount that I need. So I went with that immediately, and it's paid off. I mean, it's honestly been just super helpful for me. And I've worked with, so now I work with 2 companies, and they help me a lot with what's trending right now or what will be trending in the future. I kind of also do some research on what I think is going to happen. Because I've already even this Sunday, we'll be going to Chicago to the bridal market, and we'll be purchasing dresses for fall 2022. So it's always thinking
way ahead.
Way ahead. I was trying to think of how many months, but I couldn't think how many months out. So yeah, I really just kind of try to surround myself with people that know what they're doing, pretty much. That helps me.
Yeah. And have you had feedback as far as from some of your customers that may have come in that there wasn't anything that they were looking for, or like, not negative, but like, oh, I was hoping you'd have this kind of style, or
Right. Yeah, I do get that. It's, probably at least, once or twice a month, maybe more, depending on how busy I am. But it's hard being a boutique store because you don't have rack on rack of dresses like other places do. But what's nice is I do, with one of the designers I work with, I can do dresses on loan. So if they go on that website and see something they like, I can bring that in on loan for them, typically, depending on the style. So I love to give that option. So, that they don't have to necessarily come back to me if I don't have what they want, but at least they have the option to say, oh, maybe if you could bring this in. I like to do that too.
And I love the fact that you have figured out an alternative to maybe their solution. So giving them options to stay with you and be more specialized, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, they're coming to you for a specific reason. And I mean, the fact that, having that special moment, the one-on-one. And in a boutique store, you have to realize that you're not going to have everything that a major,
Right.
I'm not going to say names, but those that have lines of dresses for miles and miles, and you get completely confused on like what it is you want, but like having that specialty, you're going to attract, people that are looking for more of the experience and, that special moment. And I think everybody, like, and I've told this before, like, you kind of hone in the way that you market yourself is how you bring in your right client and your right customer. And you're not for everybody, and I'm not for everybody as a, a marketing professional, and hey, if you want this, go down there, they can help you. And thank you so much for talking to me or whatever, giving me the opportunity. But I like that you found almost like a gap where you can offer an opportunity or an option for somebody should they not find what they're looking for. So great job. Wow. In only 2 years in business, I think you've gotten a lot of help, like mentorship from your family and your friends that you surround yourself with. And that they are truly like amazing to tap into, even it's just a bounce a question off of, because most of the time they've experienced some kind of, even though they're not in your industry, they've experienced something like that in their business. And that's really like the whole purpose of my Facebook Live is I want people to understand other small businesses like, hey, we've all been there. We've figured out a different solution, or this is what's helped me grow or helped me get through those tough times or whatever, and realize that we're all in the same boat together and we can lean on each other and whatnot. So I have talked way too much.
No, you're fine.
So we're getting, I told you it's 30 minutes. So you get the
It went by fast. It goes fast.
Know. It goes by super fast. I love it. But I give the last few minutes for you to promote exactly whatever you want to promote. And I will put your stuff up there. So the floor is yours.
Oh, goodness. I hope that I kind of, said everything that I should about the store. But so the main thing is knowing that you have, the whole space to yourself. Right now I'm trying to kind of limit the amount of guests because I've learned that the more intimate experience is better with less. However, I'm not opposed to you bringing more people because I know it can be tricky with leaving people out. So that's to do. But I also carry accessories. So I have, veils, jewelry, that type of thing. And like I said, hoping down the road to do a few more events that bring in a different clientele, whether it's mother of the bride or, thinking about doing like bachelorette parties types, like just fun things. So stay tuned for that, but I'll get through the busy season first before I focus on that type of thing. But no, I love what I do, and I hope that, I think it's been accepted a lot by the community, and I just have really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I put down your website. They can check out your website. And then the scrolly bar has got your Facebook and your Instagram. They can check out. When you get TikTok, we'll put that up. or when you get, I think you already have TikTok, but when you
Yes, but give me some time to build it up a little.
I don't even have TikTok. And I'm the marketing person, but I'm completely trying to avoid it, and I know I can't.
It's hard. It's hard.
Well, we have one more comment. You're awesome. Lindsay, you're funny. I love it. I'm going to have to go watch it now. So
yes,
Well, thank you so much, Emily. It is a pleasure. I really appreciate you taking your time. I know it's busy season for you, but chatting with me about your journey and opening up your shop right before COVID and all that fun stuff, celebrating 2 years. And yay. I mean, you made my special day special at the very beginning. And so that will just hopefully continue to go down the line until July when I walk down the gravel path of getting married.
Yes. Thank you so much. This was so fun.
It was a true pleasure. And hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in at our new time. We'll be back next week with a new guest. Thanks. Have a good day.